Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the books that I hope to read in the month of May. So my May TBR. I can't believe that I'm already thinking about May because I've hardly made it any dent in April. Like April I've hardly touched, so there are lots of repeats here. I feel like I've said that every month, that there are lots of repeats, just because I'm just not reading the amount that I hope to be reading, and then I just keep getting more ambitious because I keep adding things, but I also keep repeating things. So I have a large selection of things that I would like to read, hope to read, and we will see which ones I actually end up getting to. But there is a whole selection here. It is, I mean, I am saying this, and it is only the 21st of April, so I do still have like 10 days left. Oh no, there's only 30 days in April. 9 days left in April, so there is a good chunk. There's a chance that I might get to a couple of these before the end of the month. If not, if it's not a May TBR, it's a May TBR plus the end of April TBR. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is raining outside. It is really raining all of a sudden, so if you can hear it, I'm hoping it's just adding to the ambiance. We're just creating a vibe here. Let's dive in. I think I'll talk about a new one first, just so that I'm not repeating myself. Me and my friends Fish and Sam are planning to do a buddy read together. We've buddy read quite a few times over the years, so we've done multiple series. We've had some successes and some not so successes. So the one that we most recently finished was the Magician series by Remedy Feist, and we do intend at some point to get back to Remedy Feist, and we want to read the Daughter of the Empire series that he co-wrote with Jenny Wirt. So that's going to be our next project, but we're thinking more in the autumn. So in the interim, we are planning to read the Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. So, and in theory, if we like this, we can read one book a month as we lead up to the third book's release in July. So we said a couple of months ago that we were going to read the Foxglove King in May, the whatever the second one's called in June, and then the third one when that comes out in July. Yeah, we thought that it would be quite a good way to keep up with one of the more recent releases, but that is also going to be complete this year. We all had it on our TBRs. I think Sam has read it previously, so it's going to be a reread for him. This is a fantasy trilogy, and this was actually sent to me by Orbit, so it's very good that I'm actually finally going to be getting to it. Only a little bit late. But I have read from Hannah Witten before, so I have read the For the Wolf and For the Throne. I liked it, didn't love it. Like, I could see the potential. There were some elements about it that I liked, and I think I've heard typically that people have preferred this over that. This is a fantasy story, but yeah, we're following main character Law, and I think she has a forbidden magic, or a magic that she shouldn't really be revealing, and at some point at the beginning of the book it gets revealed and she gets sent to the kingdom, or the empire of this world, where they intend to start using her to help in some way. And she gets thrust into a lavish court where no one can be believed and even fewer can be trusted. Law must navigate an intricate web of politics, religion and forbidden romance. So I do always like a politics and court setting, especially when it combines elements of like politics, religion and forbidden romance. That just sounds right up my street. So I think it's going to give me the court politics that I enjoy. So fingers crossed, between the three of us we all really enjoy this one. There are quite a few things that I don't own, and I have been hesitant about buying things because I've been wanting to work through my way through my TBR, but then I haven't been reading my TBR fast enough to feel like I can justify the book purchase, because one of my aims this year is to get my TBR down, so it's got to be the right balance. I think for April I bought 2 books and I've read 2 books, so I've just got myself flat, so I'm like, can't have any more in. There are quite a few like new releases which I haven't bought because I'm trying to do this, but they're definitely on my radar. So I have 3 romances. One of them came out in February, that was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, definitely on my radar. The other one is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, came out in April, and the other April release is Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. So all 3 of those are on my radar, and I definitely do want to get to them. It's just figuring out exactly when. So I'm just gonna just like make sure you're aware. Those are definitely on the radar. I just haven't bought them yet. And then the other new release that is coming out, I can't remember if I pre-ordered it or not. I've definitely got myself a ticket to her UK event, but I'm not sure if I've pre-ordered the book. But that is A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. So this is the sequel and the finale to A Fate Inked in Blood. So I do anticipate that I will try and get to this one at least so I can finish off the series, because it gives me like, yeah, 2 wins, which is a fantasy romance series set in a Norse-inspired world following a main character. I think she's called Feyre, who ends up getting betrothed to a king of this world, and she's prophesized that whoever she's going to be with will rule the land. So a lot of people want to be able to control her and marry her or be with her. So I'm definitely intrigued to see where this is going to go, especially after the end of book 1. And I feel as though Danielle L. Jensen does a really good job of merging her fantasy plot lines and her romantic plot lines together and weaving them together so that I'm always invested in both elements. And then in terms of my TBR, there is so many things. So many things. Because we are now moving into May, I'm going to start here, which means it's going to be 12 months since I did my self-destructing books. I definitely need to get to The City of Dusk by Tara Sim, which is the first book in a fantasy series. It's got 4 realms: life, death, light and darkness, all converge on the City of Dusk, ruled by the 4 noble houses of Nexus. I think that the world building in this is quite maybe convoluted or quite complex. This was one of the Fairy Loot books that came out April 2022. Older. I would definitely like to get to this. I know the third book of this is coming out towards the end of this year, I think, which I think was why I put it on my self-destructing books, because I was like, you've owned this for ages, you just need to read it. And the finale comes out this year. I've heard mixed things. I feel the vibes of this book, I feel like I'm going to enjoy it, but I have heard mixed things, and from people that have gone in with the same expectations as me. So I do just need to get to this one and figure out whether it is a win or a lose and whether I'm going to be enjoying it or not. One series that I have been working on but have not made any progress on as yet in April is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I have just downloaded the novella that comes between books 3 and 4, which is The Dawn Chorus. So I am thinking I will try and get to that one in these next few days, so I can at least feel like I have made some progress on this series in April. But then The Mask Falling is the 4th book in the Bone Season. I have been reading this series this year. I've been making some good progress on it up until this month. Yeah, I have fallen off a little bit this month. So yes, I am hoping to get to this one. This series will follow main character Paige Mahoney, who is a clairvoyant. It's set in the 2056, 2058 futuristic London, but people have magic, and if you do have magic or you are a clairvoyant, then you are punished, and it is criminalized. So if the government finds you, then you are killed. And at the beginning of the first book, Paige gets discovered, and instead of being killed as is expected, she gets sent to Oxford, where things all start to get unravelled and revealed a little bit further. We find out so much more about the world and what is actually going on. There's a lot of focus on a criminal underworld within London in this series, and it all quite expands and grows a lot more from there. I have been enjoying following Paige and all the different side characters within this series, and in this one we look as though we're going to be exploring another different setting. So I am excited to continue on with the series after how much I've been enjoying the first 3 books. I would like to continue on in the Lady of Darkness series in the month of May. So I have been reading this series slowly this year, so I've read the first 2 books. Lady of Ashes is the 3rd one. This is all by Melissa K. Roerick. This is a 5-book fantasy romance series. It has lots of similarities to Throne of Glass. It's, quite a fae-centered fantasy romance. I think it's doing quite well at combining the elements of fantasy and the romance. It's got this court intrigue. It's got lots of the classic tropes. You've got our main character Scarlett's an assassin. Our main love interest is a fae. There's lots of bantery back and forth. There's politics at play with this wider world and things going on as things get expanded, and you start learning more about the history of the world and what's going on. You have characters that aren't revealing their secrets and are plotting things and planning things behind the scenes. I am interested to see where this one's going to go. I've heard some really good things about this 3rd book, and yeah, I'm feeling like it's going to be the time to dive back into this one. One that I am tired of repeating myself in every TBR, which is why I might read this one next. I wasn't planning on it, but maybe I will, because I'm just tired of showing this book. It's Best Served Cold by Jo Abercrombie. I haven't read this yet in April, but maybe I will. This is the first of the standalone in the First Law universe. It's a revenge-centered story, as you can probably tell by the title, but yes, focusing on the concept of revenge. I'm sure it will be quite grim, but with Jo Abercrombie's signature humour. I know that in May his latest release, The Devils, is coming out, but I think I might buy that one. It might get bought because I think there's some very pretty editions of it somewhere. But I think my plan with Jo Abercrombie is to keep working on the First Law universe first, just because there's so much backstory there that I can work through without starting a different series in a different world by him. Working on this, I'll work on this whilst everyone else can work on The Devils. And then another one that I thought I might have read in March and then didn't. And then I was thinking I'd read it in April and I still haven't. And that is The Rag Picker King by Cassandra Clare. I'm really excited to read this one. I really am. I just haven't read it yet. This is also one that I was thinking about reading next. I think when I was thinking of picking it up, it was when I was going away with work and I didn't want the hardback, and so I was just like, you can stay at home, and I read something else. But this is the sequel to Swordcatcher and the second book in the Chronicles of Castellane, which is Cassandra Clare's first adult fantasy, following a main character, Kel, who is the stand-in for the prince whenever there are dangerous situations. He is his swordcatcher, he is his best friend, but he is there to protect him. And then we also follow another character, Lynn, who is a magic user and healer in this world, which is sort of looked down upon by the general populace. And their lives intertwine along with the princes, and it's quite political and definitely very intriguing, and I'm really excited to see where this all goes. The final one that I'd like to talk about is Palatins Grace by T. Kingfisher. This is one of T. Kingfisher's, I think, more fantasy romancy series. So Orbit were kind enough to send me the whole 4 books series. And I would like to get into this, a darkly whimsy cozy fantasy featuring sock knitting paladins, badass perfumers, courtroom hijinks, and heart-racing romance from T. Kingfisher. So I feel as though this is going to be really fun. I feel like I could absolutely fly through it and just have a great time with these. I think the covers are really cute and very old school. So I would really like to get to this. I'd really like to get to the whole series and give it a good review. Additionally, I did not get to Empire of Storms in April. I haven't even started it yet, which is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series. I've been rereading the series on audio this year. So yeah, I have been really enjoying reading this series, and I've been using it on quite a lot of my runs. On one of my longest runs this month, I did it with a friend. So I obviously was not listening to that because I was talking to her. And then I've been a little bit injured this past week, so I haven't been doing so much running because I've just been resting and rehabbing. I haven't been listening to it then. Next weekend is the marathon itself, which I won't be listening to it because I'm going to be soaking in the atmosphere and potentially listening to a little bit of music, but mostly atmosphere vibes, I think. I just haven't got to it. I'm sure I will, because I definitely intend to continue on with my Throne of Glass reread and finishing off the final 3 books that I haven't got to yet. It just hasn't happened yet. There we go. There is a quick run through of some of the things that I want to get to in April. Basically, quite a few repeats of things that I have mentioned previously and things that have been on my radar to read. I need to hopefully just sort of do a big clear out of my TBR so that I can finally start talking about some different things, because I'm getting a bit fed up of showing Best Served Cold on a TBR. That every month I feel as though I bring in like a couple of new things and then everything else is just a repeat and repeat. I'm reading things, I promise. It's just slow. Let me know what you're hoping to read in the month of May, if you've read any of these books and your thoughts on any of them, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!